What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dolly back in the house. Okay, so thank you for everybody that tuned in earlier when I was out at the beach at the pier. Okay, we went out there to see what we could see if they were going to recover the car that drove off the pier today. Before I left, I actually got to talk to the police. Okay, I walked up, talked to him, and he told me that they're not going to remove this car out the water today. He said, just like I told you, the water condition is too strong. They're waiting for a boat to come in, which is a professional salvage crew. Okay, and that salvage crew don't look like they're going to be there today. So the car is going to remain underwater for today. Okay, make sure if y'all just tuning in, y'all like this video. Like I said, I was going to take a chance and putting a drone up in the air. And a lot of people are like, man, you're going to lose that drone today. You're going to lose the drone, Dolly. But Dolly chanced it anyway. And Dolly did not lose the drone. Okay, so I got us a little bit of footage of the pier, the end of the pier, inside the pier, a little bit of everything. Okay, and like I said, I got a little bit of inside scoop from the police officers that were there on the scene, and they're going to be sitting there for a minute. They're not quite sure who's in the car. The police officer said they think they know, but they're not 100% sure. Okay, he said we think we know who's in it, but we're not 100% sure. There could also be other people in this vehicle. When did you take the video, Dolly? This morning. I was out there all since 6 o'clock this morning, since last night. I went out. My last live was me out there hanging out at the pier, shooting around the pier. And right before I left, I droned over the pier because I couldn't do it when I was on the phone live with you guys. So we're going to jump over to some of the footage I took from my drone. Okay. And it came out pretty damn good. You're going to get a pretty good look at what everything looks like. I'm going to tell y'all now, I could only get about halfway down the pier with the wind, and I was fighting the wind the whole time. I didn't lose the drone. It was a little crazy. Okay. My feet are drying now. My feet are drying. I kicked my shoes off. They're soaking wet. I had on some boots, so they're wet, drying in front of the heater. So, yeah, I'm drying out now. I got my feet right in front of the heater. Did you get your feet dry and warm? Yeah, I'm doing good there. So we're going to kick in and watch a little bit of this video. And like I said, if the wind would have been just a little bit less, I would have been able to get all the way to the end of the pier. But I got about halfway down the pier. You can definitely see the end of it. Also, I take you up into the front of the pier and I fly up in there so you can see all up inside where the car drove through. Dolly, did you crash your drone? No, I only took it halfway. Okay. And then it started shifting in the wind. I was scared I was going to lose control of it. So I brought it back. You also get to see how far I go. I go a pretty good ways out into the ocean, okay? I'm thinking, man, they're going to be salvaging that car, and they're going to be salvaging my drone, okay? So let's do it. Let's kick into a little bit of this. And it came out pretty good. That drone, it does okay for what it is. It's a DJI. It's not a cheap one. But I'm going to get the Maverick, the big Maverick with the better camera where I can zoom in on things. It's going to help me in my searching. It's going to help me in my videos. I've gotten good enough to where I can fly it, and I'm not too scared to wreck it because, you know, the Maverick is almost $2,000. Okay. So this one has been good, a DJI, that I've gotten used to flying it because the Maverick's also a DJI, but it's a lot more expensive. So that way, once I get the Maverick, no recovery yet. Okay. Because the water conditions are too bad right now. Once I get the Maverick, I'll be able to live stream from it. I'll be able to zoom in on it. I'm trying to get one with a night vision camera so I can even drone at night. And like I said, I've been practicing my flying skills. And I've only wrecked the drone one time, and that's when I was in Northern Virginia looking for Jake, okay? But all I did was fuck up a blade. I replaced the blades. That wind was blowing, I would say 15, 20 miles an hour winds. That little drone, man, it was fighting it. It was fighting its way out there. How did this happen? Well, a vehicle just drove through onto the damn pier, drove all the way down the pier, all the way to the end, and drove off the end of it into the ocean. Okay? Let's take a little look. You'll see how far I got out. The first time I go out, I'm chancing it. I'm like, all right, don't let me go too far. And then I'm like, all right, let me go a little farther. Because, once you get out over the ocean and this thing goes down, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I'm already over the water now. The first time I don't go as far out. The second time I go a pretty good ways out there. Right now I'm just getting my adjustments on my camera settings and my height right, because I don't want to hit nothing when I fly close to this pier. So right now I'm just adjusting things on my drone. The footage is amazing, Dolly. Look, this is the cheaper camera on the drone. Wait till I get the Maverick 2, where I can zoom in and I can go farther. I only have certain range on this camera. See, now I'm backing it up. I think you might even see me on the beach. See me on the beach down there at the bottom right? Each time I go out, I go a little farther, a little farther. I'm just trying to fight this wind and be able to control the drone, because it's real hard to control when it's real windy. Every little move is a major move. Okay, I'm like, let's do it. Yeah, and it drove right off the end down there. The drone don't have sound, no. Now I'm starting to go a little ways. See, the whole time, man, if it wasn't so windy, I would have got to the end of the pier. But my drone was just fighting the wind, fighting the wind. Now I'm trying to make it. I'm like, man, and then the wind is pushing me back. I'm trying to inch it forward. Here we go. See, I told you I got almost to the end of it. And then the drone was kind of shifting. And I was like, okay, let me back this thing up before I lose my drone. You can see how far out I was. There I am on the beach. See me at the bottom? I'm dropping it down over the water. Usually I don't do that. The pier is definitely still intact. Okay, guys. It didn't collapse from the car. It made it all the way off the end. And believe it or not, I think some of the people at Ocean Eddies even showed up for work, but I don't think they're working today. So you can see where I dragged my bag through the sand. Do you see that? where I wheeled it down to the beach. It made a trail all the way to the end. You can see the fence right there. That's where he busted through those fence. See, they got them. They got them chained up around that pole right there. See, now I take you onto the pier, and that's where he drove through it right there. Let me turn my drone. See where he drove, where the wood is plied up right there? That's where he drove through. So he drove down this, through that little area, and all the way down the pier off the end of it. There you go. So yeah, the pier's not too bad. He made it. Look, the end of it's gone though. You can completely see the end of the pier's gone. Yeah, a missing man is connected to this. I seen that. Now he may be at the bottom of the ocean right here. So I was talking, like I said, I got to talk to the police a little bit when I was flying the drone. Right after I got done flying the drone, the officer that's been sitting out there, I got to sit there and talk to him, and he was telling me, he goes, "Yeah, they're not going to try to retrieve the vehicle today. That the water's too choppy." But they have a professional salvage crew that is working on the thing. So as you see, there's not one boat in the water. That car is right at the end of this pier, right up against the pylons. They put a submersible underneath there, and the current was so strong it kept banging into the car. But they know for a fact the car is there. The current hasn't took the car away. So that car is sitting right at the very end of this pier, and they don't know how many people is in it. The car at low tide is 17 feet deep. Okay, at low tide, 17 feet deep. There's the pier gift shop. See, it didn't hit none of the buildings on the pier. They're good. It just went right through that little section right there. You can see where they have it taped off. And the end of the pier is gone. But the pier is in fairly good shape. And you see how the pier has a bend in it? So he drove all the way down that bend and everything. If he would have wrecked off right there where it's bent, he would have been in the shallow water. You would have been able to get to him. But this is the best footage I've seen yet from the pier, this drone footage. That's where he hit the gates. He went through those gates. Look, there I am on the stairs. Hey, that's me. So, I mean, I did go onto the pier. Just barely, though. And then after I was done flying around, I actually got to sit there and talk to that cop for a few minutes. He filled me in on a little bit of stuff. See, this guy works on the pier. He actually works at Ocean Eddy, so he was showing up. I don't know if he was showing up to clean up or what he was doing, but he definitely worked at Ocean Eddy's. I agree, Dolly. Best footage. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the news stations, they would have drones, you know, and would be like right up on it, or at least a helicopter. Definitely hit that thumbs up for me, guys. My feet are cold. Hey. I was just checking my tracking. Well, look, they look like they replaced the beginning of the pier, and you can see where they replaced some of the wood not too long ago on this pier. Because when you used to walk on this pier, all this shit was rotten. So it looks like they replaced some of the beginning of the pier. I think I landed right here. Boom! And we landed. And we're down. So that was the footage that I shot today from the drone. Like I said, I appreciate everybody that came by, hung out with me this morning. And as soon as we know, or we get some type of notification that they're going to try to pull this car out, we're going to go back down there, because you got to remember, whenever the weather's good enough for them to pull that car out, it will also be good enough for my drone to get all the way out there. So while they're doing this, while they're recovering this vehicle, we're going to fly the damn drone into the ocean. Okay. Way out there, hover over them and check it out. Okay. It ain't live. So even if it shows anything crazy, I'll have time to cut it out before I air it on YouTube. But the only reason I couldn't make it to the very end today is because of the winds were so high. Oh, I'm right near, I'm in the 757. I'm right not too far from downtown Norfolk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me get these wet socks off. I got my damn Friday the 13th socks. These are my good socks too. My Jason Voorhees. Get them over here. You're in Hampton. Let's go. Yeah. So when it comes time to get this vehicle out of the water, we're going to be there for it for sure. Because I'm just curious now to how they're going to get it out of the water. I didn't see no AWP out there. Just Dolly WP. If I would have had a big magnet, I would have pulled that vehicle out. The guy was familiar with the pier. Do you see Rhonda Young or know who she is? Rhonda Young? Is that the lady that does the little news reports? Norfolk's still a rough place. I dipped around there back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, I know who she is. PJ bumped into her the other day. She does like little news videos. Good morning, Smoky Mountain. Oh, it ain't no problem. I might go get some drone footage of the battleships. They got a bunch of battleships parked down the street from me in the water. And I was thinking about flying over the ships, but I don't know what the rule. I mean, the ships are dry docked, so it shouldn't be a big deal. That's not like they're active. If they were active, they shoot my damn drone down. But they're parked right now, dry docked. Some of them are dry docked. Some of them are still in the water, but they're pulling them up to the shipyards. And I was thinking about flying over the shipyard. But I don't know if the airspace is restricted. Because when I went to launch right here, it gave me a bunch of warnings about Oceana. Because apparently that's right in the flight path. Love the drone images. Thank you. Wait till I get my new drone. The new drone's going to look like some shit from a movie. But this ain't bad. For the price of the drone, and this was my first drone, learn to fly the DJI and stuff like that. Because the one I'm going to buy is a DJI also. So it flies exactly the same. It sets up exactly the same. It's just $2,000 more. And got a way better cameras on it. And I'm not getting the Mini. If I would have had the Maverick 2, I would have been able to make it to the end of this pier in the wind. But that little drone I had with the wind, I might have been able to make it, but I didn't want to take a chance of crashing. Dolly, do you know if there's any webcams right in the area of the beach? I'm not for sure. Yeah, but I'm gonna get me the newest. I'm gonna get me the newest Maverick, and I want to upgrade the camera on it too. So I haven't really went shopping for it yet because I got to get my 4-wheeler first. Because I figure I'll just use this drone until I save the money. And I got a lot of stuff going on because we got this crime con coming up, and that shit's so expensive. So I don't know. It may be the end of summer before I get my drone. I don't know. Everything's just crazy right now because of all this shit we got planned and everything's so expensive. The Dolphin Inn. I don't think they call it the Dolphin Inn anymore. I think they renamed that place. They look like a good roof on the building. They must have just recently had that done because the roof looks in pretty good shape. I used to do that for a living. Them rubber roofs, Firestone roof right here, flat roofs. Thank you, Smoky Mountain. It's all baby steps. Soon I'll have every single thing I need, you know? So it's just a matter of time. I figure at the latest by next summer, I'll have my four wheelers, the command center wrapped, the drones, everything I need. I'm just missing a few things. Baby steps all the way to the top. Baby steps all the way to the top. Where can I send the picture? I have a picture before it goes in. You can send pictures to my Facebook. You can also send them to my email, Jimmy, Jimmy, Jams, Jamz 757 at gmail.com. One of my mods could post it. JimmyJams757 at gmail.com is my email. You can send pictures there. You can send them to my Facebook. Good morning, Amanda. Did there used to be a hot dog stand somewhere there on the dock? Um, I don't never remember no hot dog stand. But in the summertime, there's vendors that set up along the boardwalk. There just ain't none out here right now because it's freezing ass cold in the wintertime. But in the summertime, there'll be like, icy places where you can go get ices, hot dogs, different shit along the beach to drink, lemonade, stuff like that. Just beachy shit. And I still got to go back out there and we got to drop off a teddy bear because nothing was open when I left. So, and if you watch my last video, you can see what that sign says. It says, "Dear stranger, it's sorry you died," or something like that. "We're praying for you. Wish the world hadn't been so mean to you." It says something like that. And speaking of the day is the anniversary of my brother passing away. It's been 1 year today, exactly 1 year. So Tiff had went out and visited his grave yesterday, and my brother was a drinker. He liked to drink. So she left him on his grave. I thought this was cute. She left him a Bud Light on the grave. So yeah, it's been 1 year. It sucks. Missed the guy. And here we go. A year later, this dude then drove off the pier. Well, my brother didn't drive off a pier. He had a heart attack. He lived a good full life. Yeah, yeah. Hug your loved ones, man. You never know how long they're going to be here for. Sorry for the loss of your brother, Dolly. Yeah, it happens. It's a part of life. We're all going to meet that day one day. Hopefully, by then they can turn me into a cyborg and I can live forever. But if I can get a good few more years in, I'll be good, I guess. So even if I live as long as my brother, he was every bit of, I think, 15 years older than me. So if I make it another good 15, that's a good solid life, I think. I'd be lucky to get that far, though. And if you can see the jetty down there at the end where the rocks are, usually when I go live from the beach, them are the rocks that I'm on. A lot of times y'all see me at the oceanfront live streaming. I'm usually somewhere on them set of rocks down there in the back. PJ gifted one membership. Thank you, PJ. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You lost your sister when you were 30 and she was 37. Boom, and we land. Okay, so guys, look, it's been cool hanging out with you guys today. I pretty much been with you all morning. So I'm getting ready to call it, kick back, get me something to eat, things of that nature. You be good. Be safe today. Don't go driving off no piers. Later this evening, I'll drop a couple new videos for you guys. And there was something else that was going down tonight. I'll think of it later. But don't forget to like this video, drop some comments. I hope y'all enjoyed the footage. And when they do pull this car out the water, we will be there for it. Okay. And like I said, with the conditions right to where they can pull this car out will be the same conditions that we can fly our drone out all the way to the end. So we'll be able to see them actually pull this car and stuff out the water. Trust me, I won't show nothing graphic. By the time I get the video, I'll edit it and show y'all what gets pulled out this water. Long as it's not the person. Okay. I ain't going to show you the person coming out the water, but I'll definitely, when they pull this car out the water, you guys will get to see it here. It's totally Kylie Rodney-ish, but not the same, you know. See you guys later. Peace.